Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to episode 16, Party Wipe. We are making a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. How's it going? Hey, Lost Sleep Games. Hey, Rhiannon. Hey, over on YouTube, the bomb that implodes. How's it going? Hello, hello, hello. All right, it's a new week. We're really trying to get transitioned away from working on the card interactions, like the card menu and the interface and all that stuff, into working on the turn-based battle map stuff. That's the other part. And then we're going to combine the two, and they're going to combine and make a great game. And that is the idea. That is the theory. Hey, LSG on a 35 stream streak. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's what? About 7 weeks? Impressive. Bomb. OpenGL plus Java is making you implode. That does not sound fun. It does not sound fun. All right, where are we at? Let's look at our current state of things here. Not a ton of visual differences from what we had before. You can play cards, different cards for different, you can play different units. Units will join your roster. Once we get the battle map, they'll be placeable on the board. Your roster units can have stuff equipped to them, as well as being leveled up. So I can add this knight and level this knight up. I just wrote the system that consolidates these cards. So now in the card pile, instead of 2 level 1 knights, there's 1 level 2 knight. So when this knight dies and their card gets discarded, you should get a 1 level 2 knight instead of 2 level 1 knights. We can give them equipment. So like here's the cracked kite shield, which we just placed on them. We can level that up. What we need to do today is we need to make this. So right now, if we discard this, we'll get the 2 level 1s back, but that's because I haven't written that part of the code yet. So if we put like a maul here or a sword. So you'll see the sword discarded the 1 level 1 maul when we equip the sword. And then if I equip another sword and the sword levels up, now it says it's level 2, but if I swap the weapon out again, you'll notice in the discard there is level 1 sword. So we need to work on that. I made a thing that lets you see what's in your deck. So we drew these 6 cards, and these 4 cards are what remains in the deck. It gets sorted alphabetically. I also shuffle it first, so you can't use it to figure out your draw order. So you'll notice that it shuffles from different positions or it sorts from different positions every time. Because I realize that could be abused. I have a discard version of it, but we don't have a system to detect when the discard has cards in it and it starts disabled. So we need to add those little tricks there too. Rhiannon, you feel like you're starting to have an actual little voxel engine? Need to get your textures working? Yeah, I saw it. It looks good. It looks nice. I don't know how you feel about the progress. For me, because I'm looking at it every day, I actually feel like we're behind. I feel like we're a bit behind. I want to do playtesting in like 4 weeks. Like initial, like really rough, like here's just a fight. How does that feel? So that only gives us a few weeks to get the turn-based battle system and get everything linked together. And then a month after that, I want to have an actual playtest event. And for that, I want to have like a few encounters strung together with like maybe like a shop or something in between. Like I want to have more of the feel of what an actual run would feel like rather than just a single engagement. So we're I would say I'm a bit behind where I'd like to be. And again, if you compare it to other things you've done, including jams, it's come quite a long way for a short period of time. Just don't make a gameplay decision that will change the UI. That's fine. It's fine if it happens. Hey, Deckstop Dave. I like that name. How's it going? Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Yeah, so the first thing up is to fix this level up, then discard. Oh, I did something that I haven't shown, which is you'll see here there's these card data files that don't have an icon. These are CSV files. Let me bring it over. So what I did do this weekend, which is not visible, but it's pretty important, I think, is that I wrote out spreadsheets for all the card data. So like, here's all the hero cards. So like, here's like the UIDs to the resources. Here's like their card layouts, their icons, their levels, their stats for each level. I'm aware that this database is not normalized. Don't give me that. There's lots of fields that only depend on one other field. So like a lot of this stuff is unchanging. So like here's an array of the armor proficiency enum values, the enum keys. Here's like arrays of like their weapon proficiencies for the different classes. Here's all their icons for their slots. So we have these for hero cards. We have simpler ones for armor pieces and others for weapon pieces. So we need to generate the rest of these, which is easy. And then in the code, all I do is plop these files in here and I can load card res files. I can just click this and you can see here that it is successfully saved over all of the hero characters and then the weapons that I had already defined. And all of that goes into an array here. So we just get a catalog of all of the card resources that we can just ask for by name and level, since those are the only two things you'd need to ask for. Yeah, pretty neat. There's a schema. There are schemas I'm using so that I can tell if the formatting has changed. That eventually will give us good versioning support. So we can support like older information or older save files and stuff. For now, it's just neat because I can change all the cards and I don't have to do it in the editor, which is nice. For balance tuning and stuff, that's going to be really good. Hey, Sapphire. How's it going? So yeah, we have a few things. That need to happen. We need to make the cards. We need to make the rest of those cards I was talking about. We need to make the rest of the... So like here, for example... Oh, I duplicated them so they do actually have the information. But we need to update all of these. I need to make the rest of these. So we need to take these and duplicate this 5 times for the different levels. But yeah, I feel good. I feel good about what we're doing. I feel good about the pacing. I am tired, but I think I've got fairly maintainable. I think what we got going on is pretty good. I think it's gonna be all right. All right, so I need to create 6 rows below this. I need to grab the UIDs. I'm gonna move this over here. So this spreadsheet, I'm working on it. I'm gonna put it over here so I can actually use it. So all I gotta do is grab these UIDs, plug those in. I know this is good content. I wanted to do this last night, but I got stuck on the process for consolidating cards. There were a lot of options for what to do for that. And I had to deliberate. Oops. Yeah, nice and easy way to add cards, built-in mod support, all of that stuff. So you could just, if you want, you could adjust the card balance. You could introduce your own cards and your own packs. A lot of good stuff. It was basically easy to do. It's already good for me. It provides a lot of stuff going forward. Good decision all around. Shenanigans, that's part of why you were working on your content editor tool a while ago. It's a bit more there. Yeah, the Godot's custom resources are a bit difficult for bulk data entry. Yeah. I've also found that the caching system is really annoying to deal with. But doing it this way is really easy if you just instruct it, the resource saver, to just or the resource loader to replace the cache. Hey, how's it going, Remus? Tired Sapphire. Yeah, no worries. No reason to take the time. Take whatever time. Don't do what I'm doing, and don't set like a crazy deadline that forces you to put all of everything you've got into something. Prioritize your own health, your own wellness, all that good stuff. What did I want to talk about? Oh, I wanted to, while I'm doing this busy work here that's mostly happening off screen, I kind of wanted to talk about my thoughts around card drafting. I know I say this is a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party, but like the initial idea around how that was going to work didn't actually involve that much drafting. I mean, it did during the playthrough of like you'd get the Slay of the Spire, like pick one of 3 cards each combat or something, and then maybe you'd get opportunities to buy booster packs. Hey, Unc. How's it going? Welcome in. You got a camera and a green screen? Nice. That's nice. Drink the last of my coffee here. Is it Subnautica music we're listening to? I know it's not, but it sounds like it is. It is good to have a face and a voice and stuff. I don't think it's as big a deal as people, you know, I don't think it's the biggest deal, but it definitely helps. We both cut the same hair, and by that do you mean not much of it? Because that's what I've got. Not much. You're playing Subnautica right now, so you are listening to Subnautica music? That's funny. But yeah, I wanted to talk about... So initially, our ideas were, you know, we've got our 4 characters. We've got our knight, our bard, our ranger, and our wizard. And we're getting some follows here. Unc, thank you for the follow. 21 Tweak Towns, thank you for the follow. Happy Tuesday. Everyone's popping in today. We're working on Party Wipe, a roguelike deck builder where you draft an RPG party. And so originally our idea was that you pick 4 characters at the start of a run, right? And you're like, these are my 4 characters. These are like the suits of a card deck. Like suits like, you know, diamonds, hearts, spades, clubs. And all the other cards were going to have a suit. And then that kind of fell apart once I started building out the armor and the weapons and stuff, because there was a lot of overlap. So like I thought up like initial starter sets. So like here's all the stuff the bard would start with. And then here's all the stuff the knight would start with. And all of these cards would be associated with them. But the problem is there's a lot of overlap. Like especially if you have matching armor proficiencies. So like the bard can wear leather stuff, and so can the ranger. So they both have sets of patched boots. So it made no sense for those items to be suited. So I took that out. We also originally thought of having abilities as slots, as like equipment. I'm not sure about that as doing spells and stuff, but that's beside the point. So we removed that suitedness. So now it's just, these just happen to be the 4 original characters that we're going to make for the demo. But what I'm thinking is, it actually makes sense if you actually draft all of your stuff from the very beginning. So you don't actually pick 4 characters. So it's like, maybe you go through a specific... Maybe you go through a drafting process, like an MTG drafting process, from the very beginning. Like you start out in a tavern and you don't have any characters. And it's like, draft some heroes, draft some equipment. We'll see about abilities. My current plan is to have abilities be like set per character. and for them to unlock in a consistent way and be tied to the character, because then there's more of a reason to upgrade your character. But I think it could be cool because then you could be like, oh, I want a particular hero, but they're not coming up. Or I want a particular piece of equipment, but they're not coming up. So it's like you have to decide. I think that could be interesting. I think that requires a fairly large number of heroes. So 4 starting heroes might not be sufficient for that system. You might need to make it like 8 or something, or 9 or something. Some number. And then I'll need to have some kind of maximum number of heroes you can deploy to the board at once. So I don't know. It could still be kind of exclusive where like you draft heroes at the beginning and then those are the only heroes that you'll see later on. So it's like you draft like 3 or 4 or 5 or something. Maybe you still draft up to 4 heroes and then those are your heroes and then you'll see more of them later. But I don't know. I kind of want to tie in more of the drafting stuff and make it a little bit less static. Make it more about making choices as the game progresses than it is about picking something at the beginning and then being locked into that. I don't really want that. So I think it's an interesting thing to think about. Don't mind me, I'm just updating the spreadsheet off screen here. I think it could be interesting. Download this CSV file. All right, those were the weapons. I need to finish updating the armor. So what we're doing is we're doing the same thing. So actually I could show this now. So we have one set of boots, level 1, and I need to make the other 5 for the other levels. Right now they all say level 1 because I duplicated them. But what I do, if I take that file that I just downloaded, that's the updated weapon cards thing. If I take that, I'm going to rename it so that it's consistent. Take this, copy it into our folder here, into our data folder, replace the weapon cards CSV that was there, plug this one in. So now we have an updated file here, and all I have to do is go over to my card res manager, and this is a tool script so I can do it now. And we are going to load card res files, and it's going to fail for some reason. Oh, the armor ones failed. Why did the armor ones failed? The weapon ones failed too. Okay. Damage type. Type.get. Damage type. Which field failed? Damage type. Weapons cards. Damage type. Blunt. Did I spell these all right? Blunt. Pierce / magic. Damage type. So equip worked. Damage type didn't for some reason. Double check the CSV file here. Let's open in Notepad. Okay. Blunt. Damage type. Blunt. Okay. Oh, wait. Weapon card. Resource armor card. What? I think I mixed up some of the files. I think I mixed up some of the file URLs. Card res files. armor. Armor cards. Weapon. Weapon cards. Schema. Scripts. Hero. Hero. Armor. Armor. Weapon. Weapon. Something weird happened. Let's run that again. This is I don't think I actually changed anything to really cause this. So we saved one copy. It's the new copies. The new copies aren't working. What did I do? Make sure we've got the right UIDs. These are not the right files. Oh, I already made the armor. I just need to put that in the spreadsheet. Let's figure out the fact that the fact that this is saving to the wrong resource type is the interesting part to me. Did I just mess this up somehow? Invalid assignment or property to type on. So the weapon card resource is trying to save to an armor card resource. Why is that happening? Hey, Commander. Hey, Nix. Thanks for the hydrate. All right, what did I do? Card res data, dot append, card res scripts, type, parse data, CSV line. Something about the type is being mismatched. Card res data dot clear for type in card res files, load card res data, type, card res files, type. So yeah, I feel like what's happening is the files are being mixed up somehow. Hero. Hero cards. Armor. Armor cards. Weapon. Weapon cards. Yeah, that's not... Seems fine. I don't think we're that concerned about the schemas. Not. Scripts are correct. So we get through all the armor. The armor goes through fine. Then we get to the weapons. And then after Kite Shield, we have a problem. Or during Kite Shield. So we save Kite Shield level 1. And then after that, it keeps thinking we've got an armor here. I duplicated the armor, not the weapons. So it's looking at the wrong resources. Duh, Dave, seriously. Okay, well that's easy to fix. We'll just make the weapon resources. So yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get to the tile map layer stuff this stream. I think this is going to be a wrap up the UI stream for now with all the card stuff we're working on. And then tonight, maybe I start working on the battle map, get my initial thoughts around it, and then we start working on that on stream. I do like to start a concept off stream because it usually is just me mostly trying stuff out and being frustrated and thinking. But yeah, I really want to think about card drafting. I need to understand the card drafting flow of the game better. I like this song. Hey, you submitted your first bug hunt, Nix? Nice. Commander, you accidentally undid 1.5 hours of progress. You're a little upset. Yes, definitely use version control if you're in... I mean, it's still possible to destroy an hour and a half of work easily. I don't think I've committed for a while. I like to commit around like features, not like progress mid-feature. But yeah, nothing is more demoralizing. Well, few things are more demoralizing than losing a bunch of work and having to redo it. That's part of the reason I switched to this set our resources via script thing, is I was getting so sick of changing some structural thing in my resources and then losing all of my exported data. Because anytime you change an export variable, whatever's in there is just gone forever. And this is nice because this works around that. All right, so now I need to... All right. I'm going to show you what I'm doing briefly. I'm working on this spreadsheet. So I accidentally copied those resource UIDs into the weapon cards tab. They should have gone in here, into the armor. That's why the system is like, I can't save a weapon as an armor resource. And it's like, that's true, you can't. So the system was correct there. I know I don't need to insert rows. It's just easier. But yeah, this is going to be really nice. It makes very few assumptions. So there's all sorts of stuff we could change about the way cards are structured, and it'll be very easy. So all we need to do is swap these out. And then swap in the correct ones. And also, what I do need to do is I need to make a system that doesn't require the anti-res to be filled out so that you could create new resources that weren't there already. That would be good for like mod support. So you could load a mod and then pull the card data for that mod and create a card catalog. Kind of want to rename. Right now I call it card res data, but I kind of want to just call it card catalog. Because that's kind of what I've created here. It's nice because it saves it out to all the different resources, but it also keeps a catalog of all the cards it's loaded. So it just knows what all the cards are, just inherently by having loaded this, and it's really nice. It's really nice. I also need to decide how we're going to store... I still have to decide how we're going to store things like effects and modifiers that the armor and the weapons provide. I haven't quite decided that yet. I'll probably have a short list of like... I'll probably have a list of like effect types or something. Something like target enemy, target like self, target. It'll be a bunch of keywords, and we'll build these things together with keywords. I kind of wish I knew how the game changer did it. How like the butterscotch shenanigans one worked. All right, so we can download this as a CSV. So now we have our new armor data. And now I just need to fix these. So I'm going to clear these so we don't accidentally skip one. Yeah, using a branch would be, if it's a big enough feature, I would definitely use a branch. But right now our features are tiny. I'll probably start using branches more for like distributions or like a beta branch or something. I don't see myself doing that per feature, but that's an interesting idea. All right, so now I'm just going to go through here, grab these GUIDs, which I totally get. Having these GUIDs and having these not have to be paths is really nice. This is really nice. This is probably the first time I've actually gotten some real serious utility out of UIDs. UIDs, not UIDs. UID. Oh yeah, dude. America through the eyes of two American Americans. UIDs, not UIDs. My name is Jonathan and this is Seth. Hello, Seth. Jonathan. Nobody is going to get that. How's everyone doing? I had a long holiday weekend. It was really great. We played board games on Friday. Me and some friends, we got together. We played this long, cool board game about hunting down Dracula, where one of us played Dracula and the other played a bunch of random vampire hunters. I was Van Helsing. I was a very old Van Helsing. I got paired up with Mina Harker. We toured Europe looking for vampires. It was fun. I had a good time. It's good stuff. And then Saturday was my monthly Godot meetup, which is why we didn't stream. Okay, I got all the files here. Thanks for waiting for that. I know it's like deeply boring. All right. So here are our new CSVs for weapons and armor that I just defined. I'm gonna take these, take both of them. Why not? Go under our data. If I need to fix anything, it's this process of downloading these. But Google Sheets doesn't let you like download CSVs directly to a file or a folder, as far as I can tell. Somewhere it must specify the default folder, but it might not do it for the sheet. It might just do it for Chrome. All right, so those are our new CSVs. And so now when I hit this, there should be no errors. No errors. Look at that. Look at this. Look at what we got here. So it updates levels 1 through 6 for all of the heroes. Then it updates levels 1 through 6 for all the armor. And then it does it for all the weapons. And it happens like instantly. And I have a description of all of those cards here. So all of those are in this catalog, and I can search for them based on different criteria. Super neat. Super neat. And now if we go through here, so we pick out Kite Shield. This is Kite Shield level 3. It shows as card level 3. It shows all the damage type, the hand requirement, the proficiency requirement. Isn't that fun? Should make it a lot easier to make the sheer number of cards we're going to need to make. Everyone's chilling. That's nice. Yeah, your updates are looking good, Nanigans. I do see them. Rhiannon, work is low stress. Game dev is going well. That's it. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. All right, so we're loading all the cards. So the reason why we did this now is because I set up for the character sheet this system that handles on level up. I call it level up care. I should probably call it on level up or something. But so you can call this level up function if you need to level up the character, and it does the thing of deleting all of the old cards and creating all of the cards that went into the level up and then creating a new card. There's a bit of a potential issue where you might lose some experience if you like use a really high level card to upgrade a low level card. Like let's say you use a level, I don't know why you would do this. This would be immensely stupid. But you could use like a level 5 or a level 6 card to level up a level 1 or 2 card, like multiple levels. But because of the diminishing returns, it's not gonna, you're not just gonna turn it into another level 6 card probably. Actually, maybe you would. Is that what would happen? No, because I wanted the card to have a lower, it has a higher threshold for leveling up than it does XP that it contributes. So it's possible that you could like delete, like you might do this in a lossy way, and I was like, you know what, I'm fine with that because it's a strategic choice. You got to be like, do I try to level this card up Or do I just let this hero die and then play my like better version of him? I want to provide the player with lots of strategic choices where they're like actually kind of racking their brains to decide. But yeah, the level up system's really easy. It just says like, okay, we're at a new level. Let's move all of the cards that went into leveling up this character, including the initial one. Move it all into the trash pile. Then go look up. So this was that array we made. So then it's like, okay, go look up my card. Go look up the card res for the new level value and for my current name, but at the new level value. Make a new card. So it's like if we were Bard and we were level 2 and now we're 3. Take all of those old Bard cards, throw them in the trash, make a new Bard card that's level 3, pop that in there, bam. So now if the Bard dies, instead of getting like a level 2 and like 2 level 1s, you just get 1 level 3. And you're like thinning your deck as you like level up the characters. It's good. It's a good thing. Your watch streak reset? Oh no. Well, I haven't streamed since Friday. I don't know what to tell you. Sorry about that, Nix. LSG. Maybe putting an alpha build of the submarine game up after work today. Nice, nice. Oh yeah, you're going out of town? That's very fun. Can't do a web build because volumetric fog is a core mechanic in the game. Yeah, that's one of those things, if you notice it early, you just accept it. I'm still aiming to do a web build of this. I think it's pretty important, but I don't know if this game is always going to be web compatible. We well might reach a point where we've exceeded the like 1,000 object limit of a web build. We might make decisions to do post-processing stuff that requires like a better version of the renderer. I think only the alpha needs to be a web build. I think once we start working on the actual Steam demo, we no longer have that requirement, right? But Party Wipe Alpha definitely needs to be a web build game. So we'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. Because, yeah, it's going to be harder to... It's definitely harder to get feedback from a download game. I'm sure you'll find players, enthusiastic players, Commander. I don't know if I've played a gacha game. I downloaded Darkest Dungeon 2. I need to play that on my Steam Deck soon. For research, I've been playing a Dome Keeper. That's been fun. Dome Keeper's always fun. That's like my, I just want to play something and not think about it very hard kind of Steam Deck go-to. All right, so what we need to do, before I got distracted, we need to implement this, but we need to implement it for the equipment, not just the character. And the character and the equipment, they don't have a common ancestor. I feel like maybe they should, but they're different enough where maybe it's okay that they don't. That's one of those things that I kind of agonize over. But we're going to load this up here. We're going to call it Level Up Equip. So instead of character pile, it should be equip pile. Yeah, so we just need to swap out a few things. Equip pile. Move all to. Card res. It's not a hero card res. It's an equip card res. Card res manager, get card. Character res. So we don't have that. Where do we store the equip res? We should. Yeah, we do. Okay, equip res. I'm going to get rid of this cards array. We do need to add the card manager, though. I might shorten it to MGR. But we'll keep it like this for now. Card res manager. You need to be told about this on setup. I need to do some reorganizing. I need to rethink what is and isn't like a global, or how I access things that should be global. I'm gonna not do this equip cards thing anymore. I realize there's no point in keeping an array of all the cards because we have the card pile. Add equip card. If equip cards dot size is greater than 1. So this doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't need to do that. The setup handles what happens the first time, so I don't need to check to see if this isn't the first time. I need to redo this part, the add equip card. I changed the logic a little bit. How do I do it here? Change it to this. Okay, we do a card move too. Equip pile. So right now they're very similar, these processes. Hey Magoo. Good to see you. Hi and bye. Sorry you can't hang out. Yeah, volumetric fog is a strange thing. But yeah, it might be worth it. If it's not the main thing you're getting feedback on, it might be worth it to strip that feature. Just so you can get feedback more easily. That would certainly help. If it's not the thing you're paying. If it's not the thing you're looking at right now, why not? I do need to update the level requirements, the level and XP requirements. Right now we're doing this calculation. I don't really want to do it this way. But I haven't changed it yet. All right, so level up equipment. Card res, equip card res manager. Get card res. What's the problem here? Character res. Oh, yeah, equip res. New card. New meta. Equip card. I might create some kind of common ancestor for these two called like, because it's the character sheet and the equipment page, and it's basically like an instance of card res. I might make like a card res instance class or something, and then have them extend from it, so I can have this common functionality defined in one place, and then they can override it if they need their own. Might do that. Hey, Giddy Breadstick. How's the progress on the game going? Good. I think we're almost done with a lot of the UI, the initial UI work to handle the roguelike, the deck builder part of our deck builder. Obviously, there's going to be more to do, but I think we're good. We're close to an initial point where we can switch to working on the battle map part, where you actually play out the fights. How are you doing? Equip pile. We've been working on the game for about 3 weeks. This is our 4th week. We're starting here. New card, set meta, source card, equip card, card res. Wait, does that say character res? No, it needs to say equip res. Character card, equip card. Yeah, I think I do want to have some kind of... I think I might do a refactor. I might do it. Because I do realize these card instances do work very similarly, and we're replicating the behavior. Equip card. Do we store the character card? I don't think so. Maybe we do. Why would we do that? Where would we do that? Character card. Card. We do store that. Why? Set meta. Oh, we need to know it for when we create a new one? Okay. That's fine. Because I want you to be able to tell which cards became which cards. So we are storing what card the new card came from when it's transformed, just so we can do some debugging and do some like, Oh, you carried this card all the way from the beginning of the game and you leveled it up all like 6 times or something, or 5 times, I guess is what it would be. Do stuff around, do some achievement and stuff around that. So we need to store an equip card. It's just a card. Equip res, new card, set meta. Do I need the card? I'm just making a new card, move to. It doesn't have to be a card, but it might as well be. I think I'd like it to be a card and not a res. I'd like to know about the instance that we upgraded from, not just the resource. Because the resource information is trivial. It's like very obvious what resource we used. Hey Rob, how's it going? Oh, David. Oh, everyone's over on the YouTube today. How's it going? Giddy, you saw the first step a while ago. You've been watching along ever so often. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of the progress over the weekend has been kind of invisible. It's like we have a system now for loading and importing all of the cards. So now I can make bulk card changes and load them all up, which will be really good for balance and stuff. So not a ton of like really sexy changes in recent times here over the weekend, but there's gonna be a lot of visual change very soon. Okay, so I did this. I almost certainly forgot something. So let's create our knight. Let's add a chipped mall. Crash. Oh, setup. Yeah, I didn't change their setup. Manager. No. Card res manager. Yeah, I'm gonna shorten that. My verbose variable naming convention is starting to get annoying. All right, so we got our knight. We'll play our knight card. We'll play a spear. Okay, we're gonna level up this spear. Crash. Card res, equip res. Non-existent function, get card res in base. Well, it would help if I declared the manager. Card res manager equals manager. Okay, let's try that again. Look at the consistency. Issue are the same. I will tell you what the secret to consistency is. It's consistency. No, I'm just kidding. It is about habit. It is about habit. It's one of those things. It's like if you only went to the gym when you felt like it, would you? Man, all the knights are in the draw pile. I just added this, which was fun, so you can see what's in the draw pile. So this is an unfortunate problem. We need to think about how to deal with the card draw problem, but streaming helps because streaming is an accountability. It's an external accountability factor. So like if I don't stream, people hassle me about it. So that's good. Deadlines. Deadlines is also good. Accountability. Accountability. My trick is that I don't only work on the game when I feel like it. I just work on the game, whether I feel like it or not. Which is not meant to be pithy. Sapphire, that's part of why you started streaming, for that consistency, for that accountability. Yeah. Okay, so we've got our knight. We can level up our knight. Beautiful. We can give him a sword. Can we level up the sword? Yes. Okay, then what happens when I discard the sword? If what we did worked, crash. It crashes. Okay, add equip card for equip card and equip page dot equip cards. Oh. That's fine. Equipment has equip slot. Equip page equals equipment. Equip card is not and not equals that for equip card and equip card page dot equip cards. Yeah, we're not going to do it this way. We're going to say await equip pile dot move all to discard pile cards dot move config dot new 0. I don't know if I need to do an await if I move it all instantly, but parenthesis. Card. Equip pile not declared. Who is doing this? The character? Shouldn't it be a select? Oh, maybe it's not the selected equipment. No, it should be the selected equipment. If cardres.name, cardres, equip card data as equip card is not equal to equip page. Equip page is equipment, equip slot, equip page. Oh, equip page dot equip pile dot move all to. Where's this equip cards variable? Where did we get that from? Equip page dot queue free. So we'll move all the cards out of the equip pile into the discard. Then we free the page. We make a new page. We have the child. Set that. New page, card, discard, card res manager. LSG, the stream is huge. The main benefit for you for streaming is that it keeps you from switching prototypes every other day. It's your biggest weakness, always chasing novelty. Yeah, you've had a few prototypes these last few weeks. And it's good. It's good. I mean, I'm not going to be critical. I'm the person that, switched from a game that I've been working on for like 2 years to just try to make something in 6 months. After already doing a similar thing, like shortly before. So I get it. Okay. I don't know if I totally fixed that, but we're going to find out. I follow error-driven development. All right, we take a cracked kite shield. We try to level it up. That works. Now we're going to put a weapon here, and we're going to replace it. That worked. So notice that when we replace the chip maul, the discard filled with a level 1 chipped maul. We'll get our other sword here. We will try to level up our sword. And now, if we replace the sword... a level 2 sword is in the discard pile. Yes. So level ups are permanent now. And they help you thin the deck. Power yourself up. That's awesome. That's the main thing I wanted to do. Let's go. Let's be done. No, I'm kidding. I keyed. So one thing I need to do is I need to make it so you cannot preview the draw pile when it's empty. But I also need you to be able to preview the discard pile when it's not empty. I'm going to add some little things to the character sheet so that you can look at and the equip sheet so that you can look at the card pile associated so you can see all the cards that went into this card. Or at least all the cards that are currently going into this card. So you could look at our level 2 shield. I might just add one more level 1 shield to try to get it towards level 3. And then there will be a little button here and you'll click it and it will show you the level 2 shield and the level 1 shield. And it'll be like, this is the card pile associated with this item. And so if you replace that item, the whole pile would go into here. So I need that. So I need a system that knows when there's been a discard and a draw. How am I going to do that? Is there a signal? Maybe there's a signal. There's a shuffled signal. Ooh, there's a card added signal. And a card removed signal. Ooh, there's also a container empty and a container full. Container empty is useful. Emitted when the last card is removed. So we could listen to these signals and then use that to enable and disable stuff. Whose job is that going to be? Probably our own job. On preview button toggled, card pile preview dot emit self toggled on. Okay, so you're already responsible for this. So what if... Oh, we actually need this. We also need this in the discard pile. All right, we're heading into ads. Hold on to your ads. LSG, the submarine game's feeling good though. You have tons of ideas. It's fairly low content list. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. The mechanics look good. Trash pile. I don't know what I want to do with the trash pile. I also am not totally happy with how the discard works right now. Like, I don't love the positioning of it, which is right here. Because the annoying thing, the thing that's like not great, is that like when I do this, and then I do this, and then let's say I level it up, and then let's say I change my mind and I equip a different item. Okay, so now this is now in the discard. So it dunked it into the discard, and you could see it appear here. But it would have been cool if the discard was more visible. So you can see cards, like when a character dies, it'll be cool to see all of their cards just get dumped into the discard. I think that'll be cool. I guess it should be fine as long as I close the character sheet and then dump their cards. Then all of the cards will come from up here and then just get dunked into the discard, and that'll look good. That'll look good. But yeah, I'm pleased with how this is going as well. We need to make some more equipment cards and stuff. We need to make the, we need to actually put the armor cards in the deck and actually make sure that they work. Guess I could do that. You're a little worried about the controls, though. You just don't have much of a frame of reference for them. Yeah, that can be hard. Any kind of fully 3D control system like that can be pretty disorienting for people. Anytime you don't have a very clear... I mean, underwater, you do have... There's a ground plane, but it's like you aren't actually locked to it, right? It's like flying. You're like flying underwater. I would probably do things where I wouldn't let you cross 0. Like, if you were pitching your submarine up, I would stop you before you got to 0, right? Before you aligned to up. Or I would stop you at 0 or something, right? So if you're like aligning yourself to like the y-axis, I would just... What I would do is I would prevent the submarine from being able to roll upside down. Same thing with like pitch and roll. Like I would just prevent you from upturning your thing. And so then for the player, Y is always up no matter what. And I think that will solve a lot of disorientation problems that you might otherwise have. I don't know if you're already doing this, but that's my idea about that. Is I think you would actually want to lock the rotation to an extent, so that you can't like all of a sudden be upside down. Because I think that'd be confusing from a camera standpoint. I don't know. You might want that for other reasons. You could also limit the camera so that the camera just doesn't do it. So then the submarine can be like turned upside down or whatever. But then you have the problem of like, do you have camera controls or like vehicle controls? Like what are the controls relative to? Because that's the other big question with vehicular movement, right? Are your controls relative to the camera, or are your controls relative to the character? right? So if the character is facing towards you and I press left, do they go right or do they go left? Right? Like it's fully unlocked at the moment for freedom's sake. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I would think about. Is like, can someone become disoriented through controls like that? Because if they can, you might just lose them immediately. Because navigating a 3D space is hard. Apparently, if you don't grow up playing like twin stick games, and by twin stick, I don't mean shmups, I mean like 3D games with twin stick camera controls. If you don't grow up with that, it's not a very intuitive system. Very funny, Nanigans. All right, what are we doing? Oh yeah, I was gonna try... Do I care? I should care a little. All right, let's add the armor. Let's add the armor to the deck. So it's kind of neat. We just have a starting deck definition here. We'll make probably resources that define starting decks. Maybe. Actually, I guess the theory is that we're not going to have a starting deck. There's going to be always a draft. There's going to be drafts at the beginning of the game. Maybe not right now, just so that I can get people playing, but maybe still. Maybe it makes sense to start with the initial scene in the inn, and you draft an initial deck, and then you start your adventures. And obviously it starts out and you're fighting like rats and stuff and like low level stuff. So it's okay that you don't have that many characters yet or that much equipment. There's gonna be a lot of exclusive choices of like, do you want to do this guy's quest or this guy's quest? You can't do both. You have to choose one. You have to choose one to prioritize, and then you'll do that, and that'll take you further in the game, and then you'll be presented with that again somewhere else. Like maybe at first, like early on, you go to the farmer, and there's like two farmers, and they have like two different things that you could do, and you have to choose one. And that sends you in a different direction for the next phase. And then you do that again when you reach like the armor smith or something. Or maybe you reach a church. Excuse me. Maybe after a boss fight, you reach like a church and you can heal and stuff there. And revive any fallen companions or whatever. And there's a priest and a paladin there, and they're like, I want you to do this. And the other is like, I want you to do this. And you have to choose. I want to keep an individual run small while leaving the possibility space for the runs large. Like, I just don't want you to be able to exhaust all the content on your first run. Because A, demo, and B, that's a lot of content and balance and stuff. All right, so I'm adding stuff to the... So I have some knight cards, and I have some weapon cards, and let's just add some armor cards. So what we can do is we can just add some boots. Add a couple copies of boots, so we can test level up. Add a couple copies of the armor, the chest armor, the cuirass. Oop, level 1 only, please. Yeah, the other cool thing about drafting is maybe you pick some booster packs or whatever, and then there's a chance that you get like different equipment. I don't know. I'm really interested in the start of the game, but first we need just a core tight inner game loop prototype. I need not worry about the progression system yet. It's a distraction, but it is nice to always be thinking about that stuff in the back of your head. All right, now we have 18 cards in the deck. And so now when I play, yeah, now we got armor in here too. That's nice. But my knight is somewhere in here. Both my knights are still in the deck. It's going to be really interesting, the life and death cycle of playing the unit cards. You're going to need a lot more unit cards than you have equipment, or you're going to have a hard time consistently redrawing unit cards when your units die. But yeah, we need a mulligan system so that you can mulligan down. All right, so can I equip all my other slots? All right, there's armor, there's a glove, gauntlets, rusted boots, rusted helm, pile. This is great. We can equip our stuff. I need to fill out the rest of the information for the items. Right now, they're just blank canvases, and they don't have really any stats except those basic enums I was talking about earlier. A shield. Level up his cuirass. Boots. Oh, I didn't level up the cuirass. That was the first one. Level up the gloves, the gauntlets. Oh, hey, why is the discard? Why are you this high up in the Z order? Is that affecting the draw deck too? No, the draw deck is right. Why is the discord so high up in the draw order? Discard pile. Order 0. Order 0. Why did that happen? Why was that a thing? I've never noticed that before. Alright, we need to draw again. Oh, draw again. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. And then I put a piece of armor on it. Why are you underneath? Why are you underneath? Oh no, you're underneath this now too. Oh, does it have to do with playing? No. Huh. The plugin, the card plugin has its own Z ordering system, and I have not figured out exactly how it works. But I feel like we haven't had this problem before. We're only having it now. Okay, so the discard's underneath now. Oh, it's fucking card height. So there's more cards in this deck now. So it's over. It's now being Z indexed. So we just need to turn off Y sorting. The whole party roster just needs to not be Y sorted. How do I turn that off? Oh, Y sorting is disabled. Is Y sorting enabled here? Layer visible. Why is this getting Y sorted? I didn't think that was the default. If false, this and child canvas item nodes are rendered normally in scene tree order. Nodes sort relative to each other only if they are on the same Z index. I'm gonna try to move these higher up. We're gonna try some just mixing some things up here. See if this works. Okay, still underneath. Even though I reordered it. This is one of those things where it's like, these decks are gonna be huge. There's gonna be a lot of cards in these decks. Because you're going to have multiple characters and multiple pieces of equipment for each character. So we need to not depend on the Z order for any of the sorting here. I don't know why. The canvas layer must have something weird to it. Must be something weird about the canvas layer. Canvas item derived nodes that are direct or indirect children of a canvas layer will be drawn in that layer. The layer is a numeric index that defines the draw order. Default 2D scene renders with index 0, so canvas layer with index -1 will be drawn below. Canvas layer with index 1 will be drawn above. Does that mean we need different UI canvas layers? Would that be the easiest thing to do? Would be to put the cards on one layer and put the rest of the UI on another layer? I don't love that because I would like... Actually, maybe I wouldn't want the cards to appear over the character sheet. Yeah, maybe we do that. That might be the easiest. I don't know what else to do for that. Also, where do I set the layer? Okay, layer 1. I don't really want it to work this way, but I don't see an easier way to do it. Is that another canvas layer? I'll say card UI. Oh, this is going to be a problem because I actually don't. I put cards here, although they're invisible, so maybe it doesn't matter. Yeah, I think for now this might be okay. You're gonna head out? All right, take it easy, Nanigans. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to do about this. Maybe we'll say character UI. Let's say card UI. Oh my glob, it's a raid. Let's see if I broke anything. Nerds, how's it going? What was this error? Node not found UI. Let's get rid of that. How is it going, nerds? How is the stream? Lullen. Welcome in. All is well, Mr. Dave. It's good. It's good. We're wrapping up the initial UI work, and we're gonna switch to the battle map, figuring out the battle map mechanics this week. But we've got like our character we can play. We can play equipment onto them. You can't. We're addressing an issue where the deck is being drawn above the equipment, but don't mind that. The deck is based, here's a fun thing. The Z index of the deck is based on the number of cards in the deck, which I just learned. So I added a bunch of cards. I added a bunch of cards to it. And now it's got a higher Z index. So we're going to put it on a separate canvas layer, I think. But yeah, it's very funny. But we've got our character. We can give them a bunch of different equipment. So here's a rusted cuirass. Here's like a chest armor. We can then level up the chest armor. And so now we were like thinning our deck and leveling up our cards and stuff. Good stuff. The UI is looking good. We got to figure out this Z index issue. But I added a bunch of cards because I made a system that makes it easy to add cards using spreadsheets. I can just load a CSV that has all my card data on it, and then it updates all of the resources with the card data. Yeah, it looks good. It doesn't do anything, but it's looking good. But yeah, we need to figure out this canvas layer thing. So what's the order I want everything to happen? I want the UI to be pretty much above the cards. So yeah, I don't really want to. Yeah, I want the card to go under all the UI for some reason. I don't know why. I think I prefer that. I don't know why it's doing this all of a sudden. This is new. Yeah, why is this one above and that one was below? Oh, because this is below in the... Yeah, I don't know. This is the one cost of using plugins, is it will work in ways that you don't expect. But yeah, we have a bunch of equipment we made for our knight. We can level them up. I just gotta figure out this Z layer thing. Do you have a mix of items and spells? Or how does combat work? So combat's going to be like a little turn-based battle map. Kind of somewhere between like Into the Breach and like a Baldur's Gate kind of thing. Like there's going to be a turn order. So imagine Into the Breach, but characters go individually. You equip the items each round or combat. So when you equip a knight, so here's our knight. Now that he's in the roster, you place him somewhere on the board. And now he's like an instance of this card, right? So now you have this knight on the board. You can play other knights to level him up, assuming I can draw another knight. At which point, you know, now there's one level 2 knight card. So that when the knight dies, you'll get the one level 2 card back instead of the 2 level 1s. So it's like you're trying to get knights played and you're trying to get them leveled up. The same works with the equipment. And so you can play cards and equipment and stuff whenever. And then what's going to happen is there's going to be a combat turn order. So each character will go in like a random order. So it might be like one of your guys, then one of the enemy's guys, then one of your guys, then maybe 2 of the enemy's guys. You'll see what the next enemy is going to do. So there's a little bit of that Into the Breach puzzle solving thing where you're like, ooh, this enemy, the skeleton archer, is going to kill my wizard next turn. Let's try to get my knight either in the way so that the knight gets shot instead of the wizard, or let's try to kill the skeleton archer. It's like, do I have any equipment that lets me do that? It's like, ooh, if I put another shield on my knight, he'll survive that attack or something like that. So it's this interplay of the turn-based combat and all the things you have in terms of the characters and the equipment. That's the idea. That's the idea. We still need to get it, you know, prototyping. But this week we're working on the battle map stuff. I'm pretty happy with where the UI stuff is. Generally, there's still things like systems like, do you want to preview this empty draw deck? And I'm like, not really. Probably shouldn't be able to do that. And yet I can't preview my discard. But what we want to do right now is figure out this Z-index thing. And yeah, I guess the only thing I can do is put all cards on its own canvas layer, UI layer. It's the only thing I can do. How's your own stuff going? I'm very excited. I'm very excited for your game. Reclaim the Living. Everyone go check out Reclaim the Living. I wish I had a link. I mean, I wish I had a bot that could link stuff. I need to set that up. Shout out to Nerdy Nerds. What about attacks? With cards you get heroes and equipment. Is attacks something you do as another action? Gonna release your first trailer on Friday? Ooh, I'll keep an eye out for that. So attacks will be like, so you've got your knight. Let's get a knight here. So you've got your knight. Your knight has like a main and offhand slot. So as long as I can equip a weapon in either of those, so they will be able to attack just with their bare fists. So there probably will be some kind of attack button. But the idea is you'd want a nice piece of equipment like a sword. And then this sword is going to have, God, the UI layering. The sword is going to have passive and active effects like an attack. And then so you could use your sword that you equip to attack on your turn. So items might have passive effects. They might have active effects. They might have both. Like this shield might increase your base defense, but it might also give you like an attack that pushes an enemy back 1 space or something like that. So the cards are the nouns, but they provide you with most of the verbs. There's also going to be abilities that each character will have that they'll unlock as they level up. So a level 1 knight has no abilities, but when you level them up, they'll unlock their first ability, and that might be some other thing, like a special thing that they can do. Like maybe a knight gets an extra move, and it's like knight-shaped, so they can like do like a juke around or something to better position them. I don't know. I haven't thought of what the abilities are going to be yet. Makes sense? Okay, I hope so. Yeah, we're looking at getting a playable prototype up soon. Hopefully within the month. Or not within June, but hopefully within the next month or so. Get people trying it. Demo out by the end of the year. That's what we're doing. Would like to throw your name into the playtest hat? Yeah, there's gonna be a web build. I have my first in-person. There's a big in-person playtesting event that goes on once a quarter that I'm gonna bring this to, and get my first set of like total randos and normies. That's mid-August, so I want to at least do a round of playtesting next month among people. We'll post it. I'll post it. This is gonna be a web build. There's gonna be a web build of this alpha version. Hey, Dawdling, how's it going? I appreciate the interest, though. It is going. All right, so we need to split up this stuff into 2 different UIs. And this UI is going to have a lower layer. What is the canvas layer? What is the layer number of the camera? Is it 0? Default 2D scene renders with index 0. So I don't want it to be drawn below the camera. This order will hold regardless of the Z index of the nodes within each layer. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, because this plugin gives each thing a Z index based on the number of cards in the pile, we just need to put it on its own layer. So this will be on layer 1, and then we'll have a character UI that's on layer 2. Put that at the end here. Oh, not. So let's move all the character stuff there. Playmat. Playmat probably. The turn order. Certainly the rosters coming over. The hands, I'm not sure about. But yeah, I guess I want them to be higher up. Although there's cards in the hands. I might want to leave the hands on the UI on this one. The buttons in the turn order and stuff will move over here. Playmat, I'm not sure about. And we'll try this. This is layer 1. This is layer 2. Let's see if that fixes our layering problem and doesn't cause any others. So now, when I play my knight and I play an equipment, okay, now it's over. Okay, good. Good. Okay, and if I play so here's the thing we're gonna do. So notice this. I have 2 level 1 spears. I'll play a level 1 spear. Ooh, I don't like this. I don't love that it shows up beneath. I might need multiple layers. It's gonna be annoying. Ooh, I also don't like that either. All right, so I'll play a spear. I'm going to level up the spear, and then I'm going to swap it out for a sword. And now you can see we've got a level 1 sword, but if you look in our discard, we have a level 2 spear because we managed to level up the card. Neat. It's very small, but we did that today, so I'm proud of it. We haven't been able to test that with the heroes because the heroes don't die yet. All right, so maybe I need 3. Maybe I need 3 layers. Maybe we need like a menu UI, which is like all of these things. Maybe I need a menu UI. Although this is tied to the menu UI, so maybe not. Maybe I want the hands to be part of the UI, the character UI. Is maybe what I want. Let's see if that fixes it. Because I would like the cards to show up over the character sheet. If I do this, okay, good. But the deck is still below everything now. So we can level up our knight. We can give them a piece of equipment. Ooh, we can level up our boots. And that's over the draw pile. Okay, I think this is sufficient. That was a weird problem. It was very funny that it only showed up once the deck got big enough. There's some card handling UI I want to improve. I want some kind of outline like this when you're moused over a card, and then I want something better when you've selected it, kind of like this. I also want it to pop up out of the hand when you're looking at it a little bit. I want it to like pop up a little bit. But I'm going to be strong, and I'm not going to do that now because that's just totally superficial. So here's one problem. I can't just grab this and just play this onto this knight. I need to like open the knight, then do it. I need to like select the knight before I can do that. But we need some kind of indicator of who can wield a weapon. So if I drag this, there should be some kind of little graphic that shows that the knight can wield it. And maybe it shows what's currently in the knight's hand. So maybe it shows a little icon, like if they've got a spear. And then maybe if we're on the roster view and I lift this up, it'll show a little spear. And then maybe an arrow saying that like we could replace that with this. And if it didn't have anything, maybe it'll just show either an empty box or just the arrow or something. Or maybe just the arrow. Maybe you don't need to see what's in there. But there needs to be some indicator of who can take the equipment. But we can work on that later. So I have all the equipment for the knight. I didn't make a potion or a food item. We need to update things so that the ability slots can be unlocked as we level up. We aren't doing that yet. That needs to be done. Hey, Boolean. How's it going? All right, see you, Sapphire. All right, what do we do now? I don't really want to start working on the tile map right now. I want to do that tonight. So I want to have a think. I want to have a think about it first. Before I do anything with it. So we could make some more cards. I can make the rest of the equipment cards, but that doesn't seem like a fun thing to do on stream. We could let's try to do something so that you can see if you play something that a character can wield. Let's try to figure something out for that. I don't know what I'm going to do for that, though. Maybe the tab. Maybe we can put something on the tab. Like an arrow or something. What I really want, and I don't know how to implement this, but what I really want is if you've got your knight deployed and their roster thing is closed, what I really want is that if you bring the card over and onto their tab, that it like opens their character sheet. But the knight is also going to be on the board, so it might be easier to just have it work that way, where if I bring the card over... I'm also considering when you've grabbed a card, it switches to like a different view that takes up less space. Like it switches to just like a tile view only or something, but maybe not. Maybe that's too much. We've gone really minimal with the amount of card detail anyway, and we're going to need tool tips to tell you, because you're going to want to know what a cracked kite shield does. So we're going to need to pop up like a tool tip. I need to make some tool tips. But yeah, I would love it if you grabbed a card and it did something here. So you didn't have to open this thing up. If only one of the characters can even equip it, it should probably just automatically open that. And then it should just use the arrow thing if there's more than one, or maybe it highlights them or something. I don't quite know what I want to do. There's room here though, so we could do a thing where it shows like, let's say there's a sword. Let's say I have a sword equipped. And then I'm like, oh, I want to equip this maul, but I don't have this guy open. Maybe if I pull this out, what it does is it shows an icon of the sword, and then it shows an arrow, and then it shows the maul or whatever you've got in your hands. So you can be like, oh, you could replace that sword with this maul. And maybe we show the icon so that you can see the level of the sword. Show a little icon, and then an arrow. And then the icon of the new thing. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. Maybe what we do is we resize the roster tab. And it has like another format where you can show exactly what I just described. That could be good. Hey, Puffy. You're getting started on game dev with Godot. What videos do you recommend to watch and learn? Oh, Brackeys, I hear, is good. There's some other one. Brackeys, spelled B-R-A-C-K-E-Y-S. Brackeys. They do some Godot. They've done some Godot ones. They haven't done a lot recently, but there's probably some good stuff to get started. What is everyone else like? I have not done a bunch of tutorials. I'm the person that instead of doing tutorials, I just read the entire documents. I just read all of the documentation. I'm a boomer. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of replacing the roster tab with a version that shows the slot that's equipped and then shows like a little arrow and then shows the thing that you're replacing it with or something. In case there's more than, in case like you're like, who's going to get these leather boots? And it shows like multiple people. There's probably a simpler version of that, maybe with just the arrow, but figure it out. I do like the idea that the character sheet will open if it's the only character that can handle this weapon. Then it should just open that character, because then there's no question. Same thing if I pick this knight card. Yeah, because you see, if there's no knight, if the knight's not open and I grab the knight card, the character sheet for the knight just opens, because it's not like I can play the knight on anyone else. All I can do is play it on the knight to like level it up. Or add to its XP, which will incidentally level it up because we're at level 1 or whatever. I need to change the XP curve, but I've left the XP curve super low for testing purposes. Yeah, let's do that. We already know we have some functionality for that because we can do it with the character sheet. Let's set that up to also work with the equipment sheet if you're the only character in the roster that can equip it. Whose job is that to figure that out? Clear Code is really good. Oh yeah, Godot Nears is good too. Yeah, for sure. The new ultimate introduction to Godot you've heard very good things about. What, by Clear Code? Yeah, Godot Nears. There's someone I've heard of and I can't think of their name. GD Quest? GD Quest is good, right? We like GD Quest. Yeah, GD Quest is good, I think. They have a lot. I don't think they're all free. I think some of them are paid, but I don't remember. Yeah, they aren't all free, but they usually have some kind of deal going. You need video versions? You don't do well with reading? No, that's okay. I'm not judging. I'm just saying I'm a boomer. I get frustrated by watching videos. Like I watched, here's a funny thing. I'm not going to say who I was watching, but when I was setting up my CSV file loading for our card res manager, when I was setting this up and I needed to set up the code for it, I was like, okay, how do I load stuff from a CSV file? And I figured it out, and I like came up with this one little function that does it. It like opens the file. And this YouTuber who put out a video like this year on doing this does not use get CSV line. They'd use just get line, and they like went through all these additional steps. So if I hadn't read the docs, I would have just done the thing that he did, and I wouldn't have known any better that I could just use get CSV line. So it is still good to, you know, try to familiarize yourself in the material. Otherwise, I would have just been totally misled, and I would have done it this way worse way. It wouldn't have mattered. Yeah, trusting that the tutorial folks actually know what they're doing. That's the bargain, isn't it? Isn't it, Boolean? But yeah, go for it. Go for it. The other thing, Puffy, you don't want to get stuck in tutorial hell. So I would encourage you to do things like go to itch.io/jams. Find a game jam. Ooh, is Kenny Jam coming up? Kenny Jam's coming up. Create a game using only Kenny or K-Kit assets. Dude, that is my shit. That's all we ever use. It's Kenny, K-Kit, whenever we're doing a game jam for a solo dev jam. Man. But yeah, GMTK starts in a month. Bracky starts in 2 months. Kenny starts in 3 weeks. The GBA jam is going on right now. Find a jam, find a team. Just make a game. Don't get stuck in tutorial hell. You'll learn. This is like a very biased take, but I contend that you will learn faster by just trying to make something, even if it sucks. Man, this Kenny jam looks good. Why did I Is forsworn the right word? Does that mean I've decided not to? I have forsworn game jams for the rest of the year. This is the craziest collab. These are the goats. These are the game asset goats here, Kenny and K-Kit. That's awesome. Oh, and they have these bonus challenges like only use a single pack. Don't use any text. Make it mouse only. Co-op. Ooh, cross-dimensional is cool. Man, this is a sweet jam. Maybe next year I can do this. Oh, that checkerboard pattern is upsetting me, though. Why'd I have to go and look? Why did I have to go and look at the jam list? This looks like such a fun jam. Damn it. Damn it, Dave. Do one tutorial, then start jamming. Yeah, that's not bad. Is this deck builder for a jam? No, I am making this. This is for Steam. We're getting the demo out by the end of the year, and we're going to put this in the February Next Fest, and we're going to release it next year. Forsworn with an E. I don't know. I just said I'm a boomer and I read, but I like don't know words. But yeah, watch out. Don't get CSV lined by your tutorial person who is like, well, we'll just use get line and we'll interpret and parse it all ourselves. And it's like, what are you talking about? It's a CSV. But yeah, I'm very proud of our little card res thing. So what are we doing? We are making it so that if you grab an equipment card and there's only one character in the roster that can use that equipment, we should just open that character's card. That's what we've decided. That is what we've decided. So, and that's an on mat card entered thing. So how are we going to figure that out? We need to look at the proficiency. So here we go. We got armor card and weapon card. So we can say if selected character dot character res dot prof armor dot has. How do I know that there's a selected character? I don't. Oh yeah, if card res is equip card and selected character. Well, let's not do that here. We could do it. Where do I want to do that? Here, we can say if selected character and. So if there is a selected character and they have the proficiency. I might regret that. Here, no, let's break this out. Let's break this out. So the way I'm doing that for the character, the way I'm detecting the character and automatically opening the sheet is we say if roster tabs has this card name. Oh no, if not, then we do this. Otherwise, if it does. So if we have the roster tab for this card name and we have made this party character, and what we can do is we can set that party character to be that character. We can set the we can select that character, highlight them, and preview the XP gain. And open the character sheet. Okay, so what's the equivalent of doing that for here for the equipment card? So if we have selected a character, what we should do, and if that character has the proficiency needed, we'll just preview it and we'll remove the sheet highlight from somebody. Preview equipment card. What does preview equipment card do? So if we've equipped we have a card and the new card is the same as the selected card, that's when we highlight because we're going to update. Is that all we do differently? Yeah, it looks like it. Eventually what we want to do is we want to compare them a little bit. So you'll have like, if you equip a new weapon that's going to drop your attack, your character sheet's attack will like be red and have like a minus something. So you can tell you're like, oh, I could equip this sword or I could equip this shield. My movement will go up, but my defense will go down, or vice versa. Maybe my defense goes up, but my movement goes down. So you're like, I have to think about that. But that's not what we're working on right now. What we're working on right now so if the selected character doesn't have that, let's do a return here. Return. So that we don't accidentally continue. And so if we do still have a selected character, what we want to do, actually, whether we have a selected character or not, we want to do this, but we'll do it here for now. What we can do is we can say for party character in party characters, Party character is a character sheet. So we'll look through each of our party characters. We'll say well, we need to declare a variable. We need to say like variable. We'll say proficient characters. Make this an array of character sheets. So we'll say if party char dot character res dot proficiency armor dot has this card res dot proficiency requirement. So if we have the proficiency required, then we will add, we'll say proficiency characters dot append party character. Party character, character sheet, and party characters. Unable to iterate on value of type dictionary. Oh, yeah, sure. Wait, what? Dictionary. String name, character sheet. Oh, this is sorted by a dictionary. So I can say party characters dot values. There we go. So we'll iterate through all our characters. We'll see if anyone has that proficiency. And then at the end, we'll say if proficient characters dot size is exactly 1, we potentially need to close the selected character if there is one. Should I just do this all the time? No. So we'll say this. We'll say if selected character. Here, what we can do is we can say if selected character and card res dot card name is not equal to proficient characters 0 dot character res dot card name. We'll close it. LSG, you can't believe Solo Jam 12 is only 16 days away. I know. Time flies. Also sad I'm missing that. I love Solo Dev Jam. I love Solo Dev Jam very much. So now what we're going to do... Now we need to open the selected character. So we need to say... We need to set the selected character. Party character and proficient characters. We'll say selected character equals proficient characters 0. We'll say selected sheet highlight dot visible. Do I actually want that? I don't think so. We'll say sheet highlight dot visible equals false, in case it wasn't. So we got the character. Now we need to open the character sheet. We'll say character sheet open. I don't know if I love that process. Okay, so we can do all of that. And now what we need to do is we need to do this part. Selected character.preview equip card. Card res. Actually, let's do it in this order. I don't think this is going to work, but let's see. Error-driven development, EDD. Ed. We're going to be house training a new dog. You may also have to sit that one out. Oh, well, a new dog is its own reward. My partner is convinced that a dog would solve all of our problems, and I can't say that she's wrong. It might introduce new problems, but it certainly would solve every existing problem that we have. Okay, we open that. And so the idea is that if I open this piece of armor... Hey, it opens the character sheet and offers you to put it there. Hey, okay, what if I do this? And then now what if I do this? Hey, okay. Looking good. Okay, so this works. This works if there's only one character that supports a given item. It's a little quality of life thing. We'll have to come up with a system for when multiple characters can support something. But that's not bad. That's not bad in terms of usability. That feels good. All right, I think the next thing I want to do is the discard draw deck preview. We have a draw deck preview. I want a discard deck preview as well. And I need to be able to... They need to be in a button group. No, it won't be easy. Worthwhile things never are. All right, let's... do this. Why do I know this? What do I need to know this for? I don't think I do. Let me get rid of this. All right, so what I need to do is I need to put these into a button group. Like a button group. Allow unpress. Yes. Save it as preview. No, it'll be deck preview button group. T-res. And I need to put that here as well. Quick load. Deck preview button group. Starts disabled. So how do we want to do this? I think the way I want to do this is with as little actual scripting as possible. So we're going to use signals. We're going to use signals. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to connect. Actually, you know what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit. We're going to do a little bit. So this has a signal. I connected this to something. Character UI preview hand on card pile preview. We've connected this, so we need to do the same here. We need to say card pile preview. The only real question is, what are you sending over? I would like to inspect this signal. On card pile preview, card pile toggled on. Is that just what I've got here? Card pile preview, on card pile preview. Is this just one of your do you just have this signal and it's well defined? Yes, it is. Okay. So what we need to do is we need to hook this up first. So we have this. Whoa. Oh, I see what we've done here. Disconnect this. Toggled needs to be connected to the discard pile. On preview button no, it needs to be connected to itself. No. It needs to be connected to the discard pile. Connected to the discard pile on preview button toggled. Connect that. And then the discard pile will... So we're signal chaining this. This is what we're doing. So in here. And then so now this signal, we are connecting to the preview, connecting this to the preview hand, which is a special card hand. We'll call that on Card pile preview. I think that's what we call it. Card pile preview. Preview hand. Connect. Yep. Okay. So the preview hand doesn't really care which deck it's previewing. I'm going to not disable this anymore. I'm going to leave this enabled. Do you see Bramwell Williams Godot talk about making a game with scripts? He doesn't use visual scripting. He does everything with signals. What do you mean he doesn't use visual scripting? You mean he doesn't use like... He still uses scripting. I'll have to watch it. Because a signal is just a signal. Something still has to do something. But it's intriguing. What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm just going to discard. And so yeah, we just discarded our hand. Here's our hand. Oh, you know what? Do I care about the order of the discard pile? I don't think so. I certainly care about it more than I do the draw pile. Okay, so now the trick we need here is this. Okay, so this works as far as I can go from, I can have no preview or I can swap previews. I think you care more that a card is in the discard, and I don't think you really care what the order of the discard is. You get to see what's on the top of the discard, at least. Essentially, he uses the animation player a lot, and then built-in methods, and then signals. Okay. I feel like that's a very particular kind of game you're making, but yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could see you do that. Like, you could probably make a platformer that doesn't have a lot of complicated things. You could probably make a lot of games that way, actually. Pretty neat. Could be pretty neat. Your main question is why? So that he could give a talk about it, duh. Come on, keep up. No, I think that's a good approach. I don't think that's a bad approach. Got our knight. If I hide the knight, it's like, oh, that didn't work for the weapon. Oh, I didn't set it up for the weapons. I've only set this up for the armor. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to set up the pop-up thing to work for the weapons. What happens if it's an item we already have? Oh no, I haven't sorted that out yet. What if it's an item we already have? Hey! Wow, that totally works. It shows the equip page. It shows that we're adding to the equip page. And that's from nothing. That's from like the whole thing being closed. It just instantly loads up to the correct state. Love that. Love that. Ship it. All right, so what we need to do now is we need to make it so that you can't preview the discard when it's empty, and you can't preview the deck when it's empty. I need to play 3 more cards so I can actually get the draw deck to be empty. There we go. Yeah, so when a card empties, it should be disabled, and as soon as you add a card back to it, it should be re-enabled. And that we can do with signals. But first, we need to finish our thought. Party roster here. So we just need to use this. Card rips. We We just copy this over. Oh, you know what? Is this in the wrong branch? If selected character. Can this just be an and? No, because we actually want to close the character. Oh no, we handle that here, don't we? Yeah, this could be an and. Reducing nestedness is nice. What if we haven't selected a character? That's close. Oh. Like that. No. Like this. Oh no, I already did it. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is good. This'll work. This'll work just fine. You just need to check for the weapon proficiency and not the armor proficiency. It was like a game dev TV weird task. Oh, that's cool. Hey, Puffy. Thanks for the advice. You're going to go watch some of the suggestions, learn over time. Yeah, come back, hang out. Check out the Discord if you have questions or you want to share the stuff you're working on. Small community of Godot developers over there we've got. All right, so if I do this and I open up and I grab a weapon, hey, okay. And then if I replace that weapon, hey, it shows the weapon that's currently there. What we need to do is we need to show some altered stats or whatever. And now this works for armor and for weapons. I need an easy way to close the character sheet. I feel like clicking anywhere should close it, as long as I'm not clicking on it. Or even just escape to close it or something. Like escape once closes all windows and escape twice brings up the settings or something. But yeah, this is looking good. Looking good. We still need a system for when you have more than one character, but that's fine. We're looking okay. I still think I would be better off if I allowed for a more dynamic thing, but that would be really hard with the pixel perfect stuff we've got going on. I feel like eventually we could do it with like 9-boxing or something. But it'd be better if the equipment page opened up in the middle of the screen and it had more room. But I'm not going to do it because it's pixel perfect and because I want to be able to review this stuff and keep the battle map open. But I feel like if we ever do a localized version, we'll have to remove that. We'll have to just allow for this to just be big and to take up more space. All right. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to enable and disable the card draw or the card preview if one of these are empty. Now that we figured out that other thing. We're doing it though. We're checking off our little bucket list items for our UI here. We're doing good. Time is it? We've got about an hour, maybe a little less. 45 minutes maybe. We got this. We got this. I gotta remember to raid out when I'm done, since we got raided in. All right, so what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Why do I have this if card res is equipped the cards thing? I don't think I need that. I think I could just ask if the card res is an armor card. An equip card is an abstract card class. Let's do this. We can say if card res is a hero card, and we can say LF card res is an armor card, LF card res is a weapon card. We'll just keep adding cards. That shouldn't have broken anything. I'm not going to test it. So what we need to do, now that we've got our buttons hooked up, we need to disable the buttons and enable them at certain times. So we do need to start with the preview button disabled. Unless we have, here, let's not do that. Let's just have a ready function that checks that. We could say, we also need to keep track of this. So this is the draw pile, so you need to know where your button is. We can just call you the preview button. So we'll say preview button dot disabled equals. So I am a card pile. Where are my cards? How are my cards stored? Oh yeah, I forgot you can peek. Give me cool stuff like scry. Where are my cards at? Oh, do you just belong to card container? Oh, there's a cards array, isn't there? Yes, cards. You don't want to interact with this thing directly. Is empty. I can just ask if it's empty. So equals is empty. So if it's empty, the button will be disabled. If it's not empty, the button will be enabled. Do the same thing for the discard pile, only changing the name. And then what we need is a signal hookup from these. So we'll signal from, oh no, we don't need a, well, we signal to ourselves here. We can do card added and card removed, I guess, instead of container empty. We'll just do this. So we'll connect to ourselves. Say on card added. We'll also do on card removed. Actually, no, let's do on card empty or container empty. That is better. That is just strictly better. So on card added, we can say preview button. Well, maybe we don't do on card container empty. I might want to do things with the cards, so we'll just do on card removed. Doesn't really matter. I might want to know what card was added for some reason. Preview button dot disabled equals is empty. I wonder if this happens after the card was added. I hope so. Hope so. This is unused for now. Oh, I've been muted for some time. I don't know how long. I've been mumbling. Don't worry about me. We're just hooking up the draw pile connections and the discard pile connection so that we know when cards have been added or removed, so we can check whether we need to disable or enable the preview button. And that should be all that's required. You know what I don't like is this gray versus white script thing. All that it tells me is that I bothered to make this thing first and then give it a script. Although I guess here it tells me it's using a built-in script. But for like this preview hand, this is a custom script, yeah? And all I did was add a node of this class. Whereas the player hand, what I probably did is I added a card hand and then made it a player hand, and so it shows up as this white script thing. What happens if I disconnect this? Okay, it just becomes gray. Yeah, I don't love that. I guess what I should do is I should just, yeah, do this. Oh, that was a mistake. That script is not here. Maybe it's here. Uh-oh. Is it in hand? There it is. Oh, and you're still gray. Yeah, I don't love that. I don't love how this works. It's confusing. Oh, I accidentally made a resource. Time to delete it. Okay, let's see if that worked. Why do I have one card? Where my cards at? 18 cards. Deal. Num cards. Draw pile. Get card count. Player hand. Get card count. Draw pile. Discard pile. Player hand. Did I lose some signal connections or something because I deleted script? I might have. No, it doesn't look like it. All right. What's the deal? I also can't interact with this. What did I do? I did something. Enable reordering on. File drag on. Cards focusable. Preview. Enable reordering off. Oh no, I lost all my preview hand information. Okay, that's on me. That's on me. That's on me for being stupid. There we go. Okay, that doesn't explain why that draw hand is just not getting its... How many cards are in here? There's 18 cards in here. Oh. This is all of our cards. We're not actually dealing the hand for some reason. I don't know what this is, but it's totally unusable. This is why you don't just futz around with things. I futzed with this, and now it knows nothing. Is there another player hand script somewhere? And I used the wrong one. Playmat. I don't think so. Player. And yeah, you're the only script. Okay. Card dealer is not doing it. The main deck manager. Is not doing the thing. Draw pile. To deal default. 6. Okay, it knows what to do. Starting pile, draw pile. Stack shape. Show cards. Show cards. Oh yeah, show cards. Discard pile. Face up. All this is doing is getting a signal when we add or remove a card. I don't see why this would have affected hand dealing. I also don't see why there's one card, but it's not actually being removed from here. It's not actually being removed from the deck. It's just one card is showing up here. What if I end turn? Nothing. Okay, yeah. Somehow... Also, this... Okay, card transferring has totally broken, and I don't know what I did. Well, at least now we know what we're gonna do. All I did was remove a script and, like, add it back. And the game is very upset. I don't know if it's the hand that got messed up. Hand does not have any kind of max card problem. The deck. What about main? What are you doing, main? Draw preview button. What do you care about this for? Draw preview button dot button pressed equals false. Guess that's okay. Do I care about that? I guess I care a little. I don't think that has anything to do with the current problem, but, you know. Deckmanager.setup, deckmanager.deal, deckmanager.discard hand, deckmanager.deal. There's something wrong with the deal. want to see how many cards the game thinks are in the hand. 0, okay. And what about when we reach the end? Print. In hand. Do we update this over time? We do not. So let's just look at this. Let's just see what the result of this is when we're done. 1. Okay, so it thinks there's a card in hand, but in fact, the card is still here. Or is it? No, yeah, there is. There's still 2 copies of Helm here. So something is interrupting and causing like a horrible haywire of this dealing process. Is it the await? Wait, discard, dot move all 2. What did I do? What did I do, chat? That's a rhetorical question, by the way. Something I did is making the card draw stuff just totally, absolutely destroyed. Just not working. It's something to do with the futzing I was doing with the draw and the discard pile. I assume, and the adding and removing the script from the player hand. Something I did with this is like just absolutely obliterated. Well, I guess it doesn't remember any of the things I set for. I just need to go to Git. We need to try to roll back the change I made to the. Oh, I can't. I have to just look at the main file. Main scene. We have to literally go through and see how this hand was set up because I fucked something up. Uncard the card. Yeah, Remus. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Okay, well, I absolutely obliterated all of this. Oh no, this is the turn order stuff. I moved that. All I did to the player hand... All I did was reparent it, it looks like. That is frustrating. That is all I have done. Okay, that's frustrating. So many temp files I need to go delete. Alright, what did I do? What could I possibly have done that would interrupt card draw? It's possible that the hand shape I need to save this hand shape is what I need to do, because we've definitely lost this, and it doesn't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to set it up again. Or maybe it does remember. No, okay, yeah, it still has that. Okay. It does remember card shape, so it's not like the container is malformed. The player hand doesn't do anything. Deal 2, player hand. Overflow, new pile size. Maybe it doesn't understand the draw pile. What's going on in the draw pile? Let's double check these two. That would be handled on setup. Player hand referenced anywhere? It's unique. It's a unique node. No, there's just something going on with the card. The fact that this card is a duplicate and it's not the same card from here is a weird telling sign. You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna close the editor. I had a lot of problems lately that have been just weird, totally impossible, and mysterious, and I'll just restart the editor and they'll be gone. I don't think this is one of those, but we're gonna try it. Because if it is one of those, that would be nice. Nope. Worth a try. All right, yeah, all I did was futz around with the script and make a bunch of other changes. So the card deck, we just gotta interpret this deal. So the deck is getting the cards, but when we attempt to pull the cards out of the deck, something is happening. So let's print the pile size just to confirm that the deck is right. 18, yep, that's the right number of cards right now. To deal, default minus in hand, we'll print the to deal. Should be 6. It is. Pile size is greater than to deal. Await draw pile dot deal to player hand. To deal. Move config move. New -1/-1. Stagger. I don't actually know what P duration. P stagger. P index. P batch. So it's just this. This is the only thing that should have occurred. If not, card is... This should do it. This should work. Let's just take the await out for some reason. Here, I guess I don't know that this is happening, so we're gonna check. Yeah, we got here. So pile size is greater than or equal to deal. Draw pile dot deal to player hand. This is the one problem with using a plugin is like something happened, some part of the configuration is busted, and I literally have no idea how any of it works. Deal 2 moves the top cards to the target, returns how many were moved. Ooh, returns how many were moved. I want to know that. So we're going to say... We're going to print this value. Should let me do it. Now let's get rid of the breakpoint. 1. Yeah, okay, so why are we moving 1 card? Player hand, 2 deal. Print. 2 deal. So to deal is 6, but the card number dealt is 1. Something about this signal I hooked up is like having some kind of interrupt effect. It feels like that's what's happening. It feels like it's interrupting something about the process with the signal. What are we awaiting? For some reason, we're only dealing 1 card, even though we're telling it to deal 2 more. Do you have a maximum card? Maybe the player hand has a max card count. No, it says -1. -1 is correct. I love it. You love spending like 30 minutes just debugging some strange thing that you caused unintentionally. That's how I love to end the stream. That's fine. We were very productive today. It's time to pay our dues. What's really mysterious is this didn't change. Like, the card transfer didn't finish. Because there's still 2 of these cards here, which means it was moved over and the transfer was never completed. So there's some kind of silent error occurring mid-transfer. So somewhere in here there's a silent error. Delt for ion count. This is the count for ion count. Cards.isEmpty. Break. If cards.isEmpty. Cards.back. If not, target can accept card. Card.move to target. Somewhere in here it's breaking. Somewhere in this move. What is use batch as true? Is it true by default? See what's going on here. So target is some remote panel. No, that's our player hand. Okay. There's 1 card in this container. It's a gauntlet. So we managed to transfer 1 card. Count was 6. Dealt was 1. Batch was off. So for ion count, so we need to figure out where in here we're failing. There's a timer. Count is 6. Delta 0. I is 0. So we didn't break. If I run this again, if I continue, yeah, we break. Okay, so we break. So either cards.isEmpty is returning true, or target can accept cards is returning false. That's the only reason we would break out of this. So we'll check this one next. I'm gonna look at this cards. Oh, not that. I want to look at... breaks after it deals 1 card. That's exactly what happens. It doesn't even finish dealing 1 card. There's something wrong with the draw deck or the player hand. Yeah, the cards is still 18. So after we've dealt 1 card, the cards is still 18. So there's something breaking in the card move. in. All right, I want to see which of these is triggering. So we break. We go again. So we do another. So on 0, once we've dealt none, we get here. Once we've dealt 1, we get here. So we didn't break on cards.is empty, so the deck is not empty. We have this at 0. So not target can accept card is returning true. If cards.has card, return false. If is full, return false. Let's check conditions. Ooh, nice. All right, so we're going to check here now. Okay. So the card has... did not succeed. That still didn't return out. So for some reason it thinks... it seems to think that the card, the deck is full. Max cards is less than 0, return false. Return cards dot size. So for some reason the player hand thinks it has a capacity, even though it's -1. So there's no capacity. The thing that makes me concerned about this is the fact that the card isn't actually getting transferred out of the draw pile. It remains in the draw pile, which makes me think there's even another problem. I also have no idea how I caused this to happen. Move to. I made some innocent change somewhere and I have totally broken everything. I don't know what I did. Draw pile. Discard pile. The problem is definitely with this player hand thing. I'm going to save this as hand shape. Say player hand shape. Player hand shape. Just so I can delete this and recreate it. It's trying to transfer it across canvas layers. Do you think maybe it can't do that? No, we've been testing this. That hasn't been a problem. We've been testing with that. Player hand. Create. Recreate this thing. Make it a unique. Give it this, give it a shape. Need to reposition this. Now it's in the wrong spot. I should have noted where it was before I deleted it, but we're just kind of thrashing about. This is not something I want to work on tonight. I do not want to figure out what the hell is going on with this thing. Say center. No, we'll say bottom center. We'll double check Git to make sure we didn't totally mess everything up. So I made a new player hand. Offset left, -20. Offset right, 20. Offset bottom, 40. Empty. Shape. Metadata. Hey, thanks for the hydrate, Remas. So I need to reset this offset stuff. -20, 20, 40. I don't know where that is. Here, let's look for all the offset fields. Is that it? Is this what we do here? Oh. Position. Shrink center. I mean, none of this should have had anything to do with the thing we're talking about. 80. Okay, no, I didn't need to do any of that. I do need to lower it, though. So the card is uninteractable. It's not actually been removed from the deck. I don't know what I did. No idea. No idea. Totally broke. Totally broke everything. Oh well, I'm out of time. Not much. Not much I can do except just keep trying stuff and try to figure out why. I can specify a new hand. I'm gonna specify a regular old card hand, and we don't care anything about it. We're just gonna put it in the middle. We don't care a single thing about it. We're gonna give it a random line shape. We're just gonna put it in the middle. We don't give any shits about it. And we are just gonna specify that that's what we should deal to. So instead of this, we'll just put in like this. We're gonna identify whether it's really the player hand. Doesn't matter. And we're gonna see if it's my player hand. Nope. Okay, so there's something more sinister going on. Because even with a brand new card hand, it's just totally busted. Okay, so the problem is not with the hand. The problem is somewhere else. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I do think maybe it has to do with these signals here. We're just gonna disconnect these signals. I don't see how that could do anything, but that's the only thing I changed. Nope, that didn't do it. I didn't think it would have, but okay, we can reconnect the signals then, I guess. Yeah, I don't know what I did. I mean, the only safe thing that would be good to do would be to roll back, but it's been too long since I last committed. I was working on the card CSV thing, and I didn't commit when I finished it at the beginning of the stream, which I should have done before continuing on with doing something else. So not much I can do except just kind of flail around and try to figure out what I've done to displease this plugin. Because there's very clearly something wrong happening. The hand seems to think it's full, or the deck seems to think it's empty. Seems to be what's happening. Because yeah, it's only this function, the draw pile.deal2, is only returning a single card. And it's not properly cleaning itself up. Draw pile. So there's something in the draw pile that I probably messed up. Possibly. Max cards is -1, so the max cards is unlimited. There's a stack shape, but the stack shape is just regular. Nothing special about the stack shape. Shrink begin, shrink end. I should probably do a shrink begin, shrink end. Yeah, something I did. I don't know. Oh, it also just straight up doesn't work when I try to like redraw. Nothing gets discarded. Nothing gets drawn. The whole card system just seizes up. I changed none of that. The stagger and the duration and stuff is like measured in milliseconds. Like, yeah. There's really no way to know what happened. I changed something. Something is very upset. There's maybe something wrong with the resources, but I find that hard to believe. I feel like it would complain. The fact that it's failing silently is maybe the more annoying thing. Yeah. So what's happening is somewhere in the deal 2, target can accept card is failing. And I think it's trying to add the same card twice. I think it's running into some weird thing. I kind of want to know why. Is full. We're going to try this. So we made it. So so this didn't fail. It didn't fail that time either. So we're calling it. We're calling this a lot, actually. So that's fine. So it's not full. It's trying. Oh, you know what? You know what's triggering this? It's the initial draw. I needed to... That's not going to work for me. It's calling that a lot. Here. Yeah, there isn't a wait. There isn't a wait, but it doesn't... The await, if I take away the await, it doesn't all of a sudden work. It's some insane thing where I swear it must have been when I was like unplugging and plugging scripts back in or something, but that doesn't make sense either. That's fine. This is game dev. I don't think it can be like a we're having a hard time because we're crossing a canvas layer, but just in case. Nope. Didn't think so. So there's something about this deal too that's like absolutely just obliterated. It's just totally fails. All right, we step in. We're stepping in. Sure. Deal 2. Target count. Target. Main. Player hand. Max cards -1. Cards 0. Use batch, no. Dealt is 0. 4. Step in. Cards is empty, break. Dealt is 0. Shape is whatever. Cards is 18. So the draw pile has 18 cards. Current value. Target can accept card. So we didn't break there. We did a move to. We're moving this card to the target, which I think is the player hand. I think we confirm that. Yep. So delt gets updated if config.stagger and I count -1 is, I mean, the tree, the await the tree thing could do something, I guess, conceivably. But no, we're already here. We didn't actually await anything. Okay. So cards is not empty. Cards is very much not empty, but is it also have 18? Yeah, the card transfer is failing. So the card is not being moved from the source to the destination. And I don't know why. Some weird, very niche thing has occurred. Probably some kind of resource. Something has gotten misconfigured somewhere, and it's very upset. And then so we take this card again, and then so if target can accept card. Current value 112206023305. Do you have this card? 112206023305. Yeah, so a card is failing to leave the draw deck. And so we move the card, quote unquote, to the hand. For some reason, the card is still... For some reason, the card is still in the deck. So we go through and we try to add it again. And then that fails. And then we break. So that's the problem. The problem is the card is not leaving the draw deck. And that's going to require some really obscure... I mean, I should just... Hey, how's it going? You're catching me right at the end, and we've been debugging for the last 30-something minutes, so... Unfortunate timing, but how's it going? Happy Tuesday. Move connect. If not, target return. If not, target can accept card. So somewhere in here, the registering, somewhere in here, there's something horrible happening. Move completed. I mean, I guess conceivably it could be some kind of order. So we're not even using stagger draw. Not even using a stagger draw. Something about the draw pile is totally, absolutely borked. I think I'm going to recreate the draw pile. 4, 3, 5, 6. Shrink. Something absolutely devastatingly wrong with the draw pile. Give it just a stack. Max cards, card move duration. Four, 3, 5, 6. Container sizing, shrink begin, shrink end. All right, so I made a new draw pile. We're just going to close things and reopen things. You developing deck builder? It's GD script. Yeah, it's all in GD script. Yeah, we're struggling with our card plugin, which is a really good plugin called Simple Cards, but somehow it's gotten into a state where it's upset with me, and I don't know how. Oh, main uses a staggered draw. Let's turn that off. I don't know how that got turned on. I don't think we actually use that, but just in case. Oh. Where did the deck go? Oh, I need to reassign it. Hey, thanks for the follow. Oh, let's turn this off. Okay, that didn't do anything. Draw pile. Shape, stack, show cards. Should be on. So show cards is on. Yeah, there's something, I don't know what it is. It copies a card from the deck to the hand, but it doesn't finish. And so the card is still in the deck, and then it goes to try to add that same card to the hand, and it fails, and then it early outs. All right. Well, I don't have any more time. I gotta go. I gotta get back to work. We just blew like well over an hour, and I don't know what I did. There's some issue with the card plugin now all of a sudden. Even though it was working fine the whole day. So I'm gonna just go. This is not the thing I wanted to work on tonight. I wanted to figure out the battle map stuff tonight. But you work on what you have to work on. Something I did really pissed this thing off. I don't know what it was. I'm gonna have to dig into the move to function and figure out why it's failing. At least we figured out where the problem probably is, which is in this move to. Reparent to target. You know what? I just need to look at this remote tree for a second, I think. CG main, card UI, draw pile. So you've got cards 0 through 17. 12, 30. So card 13 is actually gone. Okay, card 13 is gone now. Is card 13 in the hand? Card 13 is in the hand. Okay, so the transfer actually did go through, but for some reason it attempts to transfer the same card more than once. Even though it did actually work. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out tonight. All right. Appreciate everyone hanging out. I don't have it in me to raid. We're just going to be over. We're just going to be done. Thanks again to 2 Nerdy Nerds for the raid. I blew all my time on this debugging. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.